So I get to give you a taste of what's going to happen with the restoration of the Mariposa Grove. And I want to set a little bit of context. I mentioned in my earlier remarks that I did come to Yosemite as a child. I had wonderful parents. They passed away. They were both World War II veterans. And we used to come to Yosemite Valley, and like many of you, I still have vivid memories of Yosemite Falls, this cathedral grove, of Nevada Falls. I mean, vivid memories when I was less than 10 years old. And it had a remarkable impact on me, and little did I know someday I'd be able to help bring forth a dream that's been in the works for over 40 years. The idea of restoring Mariposa Grove started in the 1970s, and we've been working on it ever since. And when I first got here in about 2010, I met with Mike Tolleson, and I said, we have to do something about Mariposa Grove. It's an embarrassment to the Park Service. And we then, at that point in time, decided to commit our work towards this grove, to restore it, to make sure it's in great shape for future generations. So we have a dream here that's been in the works for 40 years. And now today, we're going to start implementing that dream, which is remarkable. So, but let me tell you what some of the issues are with Mariposa Grove. By the way, Mariposa Grove gets over 1 million visitors per year, which is phenomenal. And people here are greeted by smelly restrooms, inaccessible trails, poor signage, bad parking lots, and to a certain extent, some ecological damage. By the way, I don't want to scare you, but you're now sitting on the roots of those giant sequoias. So they go out for acres. Little did we know that when we put this parking lot in, that the water would shed off and not go to those roots. And the heat that we're feeling today penetrates the ground and damages the roots too. And what happens in this grove today, if you miss almost the giant sequoias that are surrounding you. I mean, the parking lot and everything sort of distracts from the experience. So let's do a little bit of imagining. All this is going to get fixed. So we're going to restore dynamic ecological processes. So that means the parking lot and the pavement will be removed. The parking will be remote. We'll bring people in. There'll be a parking lot just out here during the winter time, so we can bring people in. But during the peak time, which we do now, we're going to bring people into shuttle buses. We're going to create universally accessible trails. This entire grove will go back to a cathedral, basically, which it should be. And the signage will be, again, all improved. And the cost of this project, by the way, the restrooms are all going to get improved, which is great. And the water system, by the way, our water system comes from the ridge over on the other side, and we leak 50,000 gallons a day of water. I mean, it's a system that's been there for a long time that needs to be improved overall. So the cost of this project is $36 million. The Conservancy has stepped up to raise $20 million of that, and the Park Service is going to put in $16 million to make this happen. And the good news, we start today, and we hope to have it completed by the 100th birthday of the National Park System, which is in August 2016. What a ceremonial event we'll have. So we'll go away to a certain extent, it'll get restored, and then we'll be able to come back in and see it in all its glory. So I really want to thank Mike and Yosemite Conservancy for stepping up to this challenge. This challenge is large, $20 million. By the way, when somebody says it's easy to raise $20 million, they've never raised $20 million. So when Mike and the group and the board said we will do this, I thought, what great forward thinking. What a great project. And it's become sort of a model for the nation. John's talking about the centennial. We're trying to raise additional money across the country to do projects like Mariposa Grove and other places across the country, which is fantastic. So I said this last night, but really on behalf of the nation and really the world, because 25% of our visitation comes internationally during the summer, I really want to thank you for all of you for stepping up for this protection of one of the most glorious spots on the planet. So individuals like I was, 50 years ago, coming here at 10 years old, will have the same opportunity for future generations. So we need to, we've done 150 years, now we need to look to the future for the next 150 years. And I'll be long gone at some point in time, but this grove will go forward and be in beautiful shape. So at that point, actually I want to do one, I'm going to close, but can I have Shelley Abajian and Shannon Major here, and Amin Khan. We have a couple resolutions, and I would like them to come forward and just give us these resolutions. We got one from the Senate, one from the State Senate. Shelley, would you come up forward, and Senator Feinstein and Boxer? They've been tremendous supporters, and Shannon, I just want to take a second. It's good to thank your supporters. John, would you come on up. No, I mean, this is sort of ceremonial, but I really want to have them offer, come on up, John, these resolutions from the State Senate and the Senate. Do you want to, Shelley, you want to say anything?
He likes doing this, catching me off guard. On behalf of Senator Feinstein, welcome to you all. And as Congressman Costin has said, and I say every time I'm here, the joy of coming to Yosemite as you hear the world around you. And on behalf of the United States Senate and Senator Feinstein, and Amin can present the resolution. Congratulations to the Park Service, and go ahead, I can't read.
I echo what Shelley said. It's too long to read, but on behalf of Senator Boxer, congratulations on the anniversary, and yes, pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Again, Shannon Major, and I've got Micah Petrucci with me. She is with Assemblyman Frank Bigelow's office, and I'm with Senator Tom Berryhill's office. Regrettably, they had to return to Sacramento for session. I know they enjoyed last evening, so they're sorry they couldn't be here today. But we too just have a small token of our appreciation for what we're all here today. And it's a framed resolution from the state legislature recognizing the reason we're here today, to enjoy this beautiful grove and be thankful for what's in our backyard. So thank you very much for being here and for having us. Thank you.
By the way, two individuals, and you should talk to them afterwards, but two individuals that are leading the charge on this restoration are Kimball Cook, who's a landscape architect over in the side, and Sue Beatty. Is Sue here? Where's Sue? Yeah, Sue's done a phenomenal job. She's an ecologist and really doing the hard part of the work. So I'm going to bring up our last set of speakers. And to a certain extent, they've been introduced many times. But Mike Tollefson and Phil Pillsbury. And I'm going to say this passionately, I love Yosemite Conservancy. I mean, they've just done tremendous work for this park, and we could not be where we are today without their help. So Mike and Phil.
Hello, I'm Philip Pillsbury. I'm chairman of the Yosemite Conservancy, and I want to tell you what we're doing here as part of this effort. When I come to Yosemite, the first thing I do is I look up, and I encourage you all to look up. Look up to these trees. This is what Galen Clark believed was his cathedral. This is what John Muir believed was his cathedral, and you can see the pillars coming up. You can see the flying buttresses of this cathedral. This is what we propose to rebuild. And we're all privileged to help rebuild this cathedral. And who are the generations who will do it? At the Conservancy, our donors represent more than 100 years of fathers and daughters, mothers and sons, those who were born here, those who were schooled here, those who were educated here, those climbers of these walls and hikers of these trails who have supported this park for a long time, who have rebuilt and are rebuilding the great places here. Yosemite Falls, Tunnel View, Olmsted Point, the bridges, the trail system, the bear boxes, and now this magnificent Mariposa Grove. Now these generations are special in yet another way. We're inspired by the courage and focus of a president who took time following the terrible Battle of the Wilderness and knowing that Washington might be under attack any day, to view the photographs of Edward Muybridge and Carleton Watkins and see something that no one had ever seen before, this magnificent valley. And I believe it was those images that propelled him to take the time to sign this Yosemite grant, starting the creation of the National Park System and protecting this grove for all time. And we know he was not the only president to be inspired by this grove. In 1903, Theodore Roosevelt spent 3 days in Yosemite, camped not far from here by the grizzly giant. And he sent away all those who had come with him from Washington, all the media, all the reporters, all of the representatives that were here. And he just wanted to talk to one man, John Muir. And John Muir became the great preacher in this cathedral to a congregation of one. And Theodore Roosevelt, after 3 days, came out from what is called the greatest camping trip of all time and became the greatest conservation president in our history. He was inspired. It's ancient wisdom that says, you drink the water, but you did not dig the well. You eat the fruit, but you did not plant the orchard. You eat the crops, but you did not till the field. And now we have the opportunity to look back to those people who did dig the well and allow us to drink the water here in this great grove. We have the opportunity and the privilege to be the protectors, to walk where Galen Clark walked, and where John Muir and Theodore Roosevelt walked and were inspired. And now we have the honor to be inspired to help rebuild this grove. Will you join me and stand with these giants, these trees, and these presidents as protectors of this grove? We've now talked the talk. It's time for us to walk the walk. Mike, will you come up to help me present something special and tangible to our friend Don Neubacher? Let's do it.
So today we're presenting the first installment, $12.6 million for the Grove, and the rest will be coming soon, thanks to all of these folks. You know, as Don said earlier, today's about getting started, and we want to invite a few of our important friends to do that by pounding a little asphalt. So if the Lieutenant Governor, Congressman Clintock, Congressman Costa, we'd also like to invite up the people who have been leading this for us, the two family co-chairs, Dave and Dana. I'm sorry. I looked right at Dana and said that. Alan and Marilyn Brown and Greg and Jennifer Johnson, if you could join us. And then we want our two lead donors who are here with us today, Dave and Dana Dornside and Rick Kingsland from the Valley Foundation, would come up and join us. So we're going to form a little semicircle up here. John Jarvis, if you'd be in the middle. And Don, I think you're on one end and Phil on the other. We really didn't know about giving congressmen those sledgehammers.
Could be a mistake.
So are we all queued up? So we're not going to take a big swing. We're just going to take a little swing. We don't want to hurt anybody. So on 3, it sounds perfect. 1, 2, 3.